Hello there, Internet world. My name is Rene Jones. I like motivational stories, and I'm going to share one with you. Professor stood in front of his class one day, pulled out a jar. He looked at the jar and said, "This sort of represents life." He put a bunch of rocks in the jar and asked the students, "Is the jar full?" All the students agreed the jar was full. He then took some smaller pebbles and put them inside the jar and shook it a couple of times so that the pebbles could get into the crevices and all the other smaller places. He said, "Is it full now?" Then everyone agreed, "Yeah, it's full now." He then took some sand and he started pouring sand in there. And the sand, as he's shaking the jar, the sand is going into all the cracks and crevices. And he asked the people, "Well, is it full now?" Now everybody's laughing. They're wondering, well, what is he going to put in there next? He said, "Well, now it's actually full." He said, "And again, I told you this jar represents life. Those rocks are the big, important things that you need to take care of that make your life full. Your family, your friends, your health. Those are the things that you really got for free. Well, with the exception of your family, you probably work towards that. But you normally get that stuff for free, and we place little value on it, but it actually fulfills our life. But since we don't place a big value on it, we don't understand the value that it brings and how it fills the jar of life, I guess you could say. The little smaller pebbles, those are the little small things that we like, we cherish, we really want, we strive to attain, but they don't really mean much. And if they were to go away tomorrow, you would still be okay. Things like buying a new TV, having a house, having your job, no matter what it is, you would have a decent life if you had your family, your health, your eyesight, your hearing, your arms and limbs, and you would still be okay with the big rocks that are fulfilling your life, even though you're missing out on those little pebbles. The sand represents the filler. And filler could be watching TV, going to a game, BSing with friends, on social media. It's all the things that they provide no value, but they occupy time and they take away from the more important things in our life. If you actually filled your life with those smaller things and you poured the sand in the jar first, then eventually the sand's going to fill it up and you don't have time for anything else. We talk about the younger generation spending too much time on social media and not developing meaningful relationships because the sand is occupying all the time. So if you went backwards and put the sand in, and then what little space was there, you put the pebbles, and then you looked and said, well, there's no room for the rocks. I can't build a family. I can't do anything. I got a job. I got this because my time is all taken away. You have to decide whether you're going to live live in the jar of life with the rocks and get a few pebbles that obviously make you happy, and there's some things that actually provide some fulfillment to your life. And if you're going to start to get rid of the sand, many people, including myself, it's very difficult to get rid of the sand. Those are just the time fillers. But if you want your life to be a little more fulfilling, focus on the rocks, add a few pebbles, and get rid of as much of the sand as you can. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm going to ask everybody to share the video, subscribe, do whatever you need to do so that I can start getting a higher ranking. Like I said before on one of the other videos, I never mess with that. But as I want to get this message out, then I am asking people to basically share the video, subscribe, and do what you need to do to make sure that we get this message out. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.